are a type of person that is wanting to get back in control of your health, then today I'm going to go through 3 areas that have a huge impact on your health outcome. So hi everyone, I'm Dr. Lisa Smith from Errol Street Chiropractic in North Melbourne, and I'm having these conversations with people in our practice all the time. So I thought I'd share these 3 tips. So stick around, we'll go through those in a moment. So the 3 areas that have a real big influence on how you're functioning, how you're feeling, and really that health outcome down the track. So if you want to get in charge again of your health and get back into that driver's seat, well, we'll go through that in a moment. Now, when we're talking about health outcomes, then a lot of the time people talk about genes, and you know, it's really important to understand that the story around gene and gene expression has changed a lot over the last 20 to 40 years. So, you know, what we're born with, the gene set that we have, half come from our mother, half come from our father, and that's really our blueprint. That determines our eye color and our size and our shape and you know, those physical characteristics. It's like you know, really a blueprint, you know, for say a building. Okay, so it's those plans. Now, what we do understand now with epigenetics is that each cell, each gene can be expressed in over at least 400 different ways. So it is really the environment that that gene is in, or in other words, our lifestyle. So that's the key word here, lifestyle. That is a really big factor in how those genes are expressed. So if you like, if the DNA, what our parents gave us, is the blueprint for that plan, or that plan for that building, we are in control then of the type of materials that we use to make that building. So if we use really good quality materials, you know, and we build the building properly, then this building's going to stand for longer and last longer and not wear away so quickly. Okay, so you get the idea. It's really how we use what we're given, and that is really the key to health. So it's how we live our lives every day. So it comes down to basically 3 things: how we think, how we eat, and how we move. Now, this video is really just to give you a snippet of this information and just to start to get you thinking and understanding that you are really in control of your health. Now, it's only about 3% of health issues are really genetic. So most of us should be living to about 120, and we should be living full and healthy and happy lives, and not dying for decades and decades and decades. So the key is in our lifestyle, and it really is that simple, but it is not spoken enough about. So in our practice, usually if someone comes in and says, "Oh, Dr. Lisa, I've got a cold. Mary Jane from the office was sick. I caught the cold off Mary Jane." Now, I usually ask them a question. Well, have there been times when someone in the office, whether it's Mary Jane or somebody else, has had a cold and you didn't actually get sick? And 100% of the time, the answer is yes. So, and this may be in your family, you know, when someone's been sick, you may not get sick. So it really doesn't seem to be what's going on with that person, but it seems to be what's going on with you, the state of your health. Now, if my sons get to see this video, then they'll be rolling their eyes, because if they did get sick, which wouldn't happen very often, then I'd be asking them these 3 questions. So firstly, have you been eating well? Secondly, are you stressed? And thirdly, have you been exercising? So they then would come up with why pretty much they got sick. And you know, I tell people in the office this quite often, that, you know, whatever was happening with the boys, but generally the story is, you know, if I asked one of them when they were sick, they would come to me with something like, "Okay, well, Mum, I haven't been eating well. I've been eating a bunch of crap, and I haven't been sleeping well. I definitely haven't been exercising enough, and I've been going out drinking 2 nights in a row, and stressed with exams coming up." So voila, we then get to understand what is going on with our bodies. Now, this is a cold. This is very similar then to what happens, you know, the same sort of scenario, but over a longer period of time for more chronic illnesses and other diseases too. But it is mostly lifestyle related, guys. So, and just to kind of break it down, you know, we'll just go through a couple couple of points in each of those areas. So how we eat. Now, how we eat is really important. So keeping as close to nature as possible, straight from the source. Anything that's got numbers and packaging and you know, we want to stay away with. Anything that's made in a lab, stay away from. So things that we can't recognize, our bodies won't be able to recognize either, and that creates lots of inflammation and stress in our body. So it's really important that we nourish that body, that nervous system with really, really good food. Now, you wouldn't give a lion a diet for the giraffe, and you wouldn't give a giraffe a diet for the lion. That's what causes disease and problems. So it is definitely a part of that big picture for your health. So the second thing is how we think. Now, there's lots of work done around this whole idea of how thinking affects our physiology. So when we're having happy thoughts, we've actually got happy chemicals running around in our bodies. It's measurable. When we're stressed and we have increased cortisol, we have a different bunch of chemicals. Now, when we're stressed, and this stress is prolonged, then our body goes into a fight or flight mode because it's trying to protect you. It really wants you to run from that lion that really doesn't exist, but that lion might look to you like, you know, juggling children and work stresses, family stresses, all sorts of other issues. So this will get our body into what's called a sympathetic dominance, which really isn't healthy. So our nerve system is in this fight or flight mode, which is not a healing state. We really want to get into the rest and repair, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, things that can help with that are meditation, yoga. We know that the adjustment gets it into the parasympathetic state. The last thing is movement. Now, we need to move our bodies. Movement is life. So we are made to move. It's like a door that doesn't move, it gets stuck and jammed. Okay, now our spine is what actually 90% of our messages to our brain actually come from our spine. So we really need that spine to move well, so you can move well and move through space. And it's survival. Basically, if we can't get our food, we can't survive. So these are just little snippets today of really those three major factors that will influence your health outcome, not just for now, but for later on. It's really important as well, if you are parents, that you start to teach your children this and, you know, not put their health, you know, out there, and really start to take ownership of that health and also enjoy the benefits of looking after your health. You've then got a greater purpose of exercising and eating well and doing all those lovely things most of the times. Even I will, you know, not do those great things all the time, but it is important to do them most of the time. So I hope you've learned something today, and you know, do feel free to message us or call us if you've got any questions. But I encourage you all to do all the wonderful things for your bodies and reap those wonderful benefits. All right, take care, everyone. Bye now.